Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to some more What If craziness. And here we have Shakira, the ship striker. So Shakira is a CASA C295, or now Airbus C295 Persuader. So this was an AEW up until yesterday, AWC, and it is now a Persuader. So the AWCs are being made into Persuaders and general transport aircraft. And they are going to be used to bolster the anti-ship strike force. There was another video on anti-ship theory and another video on the anti-ship Gripen. So this is in my anti-ship scheme, which is strangely reminiscent of the Japanese self-defense force scheme. So this is a scratch aeronautic resin kit, which is currently the only way you can get a C295 at the minute. Like I said, this was the AWC version, but it does come with the radome, which you need for the Persuader. The Persuader is the Maritime patrol aircraft. Now, the idea of this is that not all nations and states will be able to afford some of the big maritime patrol aircraft like the P-8 Poseidon, which is modelled on the Boeing 737-800, I believe. That's done by Big Plane Kits. And also the Orions and Nimrods. Obviously, Nimrod's retired, but the Orions are getting old now, so lots of people need to replace their maritime patrol aircraft. So the Persuader is a lower cost option. Now it does come, and this kit did come with the forward-looking infrared sensor there, but I've taken it off and used it on another project. So I constructed another one from a lantern pod, and I've added various other sensors to this. It does come with the radar as well, which is the same as on the airborne early warning, and you do get countermeasures, flares and stuff which come on it, but I've just expanded those. I've armed it with an AGM-84 Harpoon D under each wing for anti-ship role. But really the purpose of this aircraft is to use its radar and sensors to guide in and target cue the anti-ship aircraft. So this will operate at longer range than the tactical aircraft like the Gripens, the Mirages and the J-10s. They will be having their radars off, and this will detect ships either passively through these sensors here, which are ESM sensors. This is the missile warning sensor, and more missile warning alert systems at the back, and more passive sensors here. It will, if it needs to, use its active radar, which it can use there, but it will be outside the range of the detection of the ship's electronic warfare suites. And then it will cue in the attack aircraft to target them. That's if they don't have air defence. If they do, then the picture gets more complicated, but I won't go into that. But anyway, the idea of the Persuader is that it provides the target cues for the tactical aircraft, like the Gripen, who then go in low level and attack the enemy ships. So a very useful aircraft, and this is Shakira from the Slugma Squadron. So Slugma is a fire type of Pokemon. I've added a SATCOM dish, custom made, scratch built, and some aerials. The Scratch Aeronautics kit was, at the time of building this, beyond me. And I built this after my brain injury, which I've thankfully recovered from, although whether I fully have, my wife would question. But anyway, so I didn't do a great job of sanding the seams down. So what I've done over the past couple of days is really worked hard on sanding the seams down and filling in these windows. And it just shows that if you're building a resin or vac form kit or any kit, the preparation that you put into sanding and filling before the paint is applied is vital, because I painted this and it wasn't really ready. So I've got a lot of resin builds to do, and I need to pay attention to that. These silver lines, these are the slime lights or the strip lights. I've added some decals for the propeller warnings, some paint here for the propeller warnings, and during making this, I can't remember how many times I knocked off these propellers sanding it. The CASA has a 6-bladed propeller on each wing, which is nice. Modern turboprop engines for efficiency. And the whole module for anti-ship or anti-submarine fits in the cargo bay and is removable. So it can do cargo as well, and it can do aerial refueling of helicopters. Not really aircraft, but helicopters, yes, it can do it, from a pod inside there, a fuel tank, and then a trailing refueling hose. That's the right word. So this is configured as an anti-ship aircraft. There's 9 of these in the squadron, 9 anti-ship ones in total. They're now operated by the Air Force because the Air Force does the anti-ship stuff. And I've added some bigger windows here just with paint, because this is a vac form, and sorry, this is a resin one, and the windows I had to fill in and then do them just with paint like an airline kit. So I've added some bigger windows, a bigger window here, and I've added a bigger window on this side. And the reason that these aircraft have these bigger windows, the Maritime patrollers, is because the other thing they do is search and rescue. So this would be the first point of call if a tactical aircraft went down out in the ocean. This would be used to identify, drop some life rafts, drop some survival gear down, and it can do that easily from its rear hatch. It can also poop out torpedoes, for want of a better word. So in the anti-submarine role, this can poop out torpedoes and sonar buoys from the back. It doesn't have a mad boom, but mad booms are kind of not as used as they were in the past, with tiles being added to submarines. But it can poop out anti-submarine torpedoes, it can poop out sonar buoys. It's got the harpoons under the wings, so it can take shots at ships itself. So it's a versatile aircraft, and that's why I've gone for maritime patrol aircraft based on transporters rather than something like the P8 Poseidon, because the P8 Poseidon is an airliner, a jet airliner. These turboprops very good at low level. That cargo ability, the ability to reconfigure the mission suite, is very versatile and very good, and that's why I've gone for this. So I really like this aircraft. I like the fact that it's got the forward-looking infrared turret back on. The Scratch Aeronautics kit is a difficult build. You have to cut the parts off, whereas the anagram resin comes pre-cut and you just have to trim it. You have to cut all the parts off, and I found that extremely difficult at the time. So Shakira was not an easy build, but she looked better now, I think, with those seams sanded down. It's the same as on the Sea Hercules. I've gone for the cargo maritime patrol aircraft, just so that it's more versatile in use. Let me know what you think, and if you like Shakira's new look. Answer, a model firm from Poland, I think, are planning to bring one out next year or late this year. But I do like the Scratch Aeronautics kit. I just wish it came with pre-cut resin parts, but it's not a bad looker. Take care. Goodbye.